OnCommand Connection is a remote diagnostic system designed for fleet managers or breakdown center workers to better manage their fleet. Utilizing your current telematics provider, OnCommand Connection takes fault codes and provides users with detailed English descriptions of the faults, fault severity, questions to ask your driver, and detailed diagnostic procedures for your international vehicles. OnCommand Connection is available for all international vehicles, in addition to Freightliner, Volvo, Mack, Kenworth, Peterbilt, Isuzu, and any vehicle with a 17-digit VIN number. The screen you are currently looking at is the OnCommand Connection portal. This is the portal where the customer will monitor the health of their fleet. On the left-hand side of the screen, you will see a variety of search criteria. Specifically speaking, there are 6 different search criteria sections for users to parse through the data. The first search criteria section allows users the ability to search for high severity fault codes, such as low coolant faults or low oil pressure faults. Service soon faults such as O2 sensor faults, EGR valve faults, or ambient air temperature sensor faults. They also have the ability to search for maintenance alerts, such as oil change intervals or headlights burnt out. Users also have the ability to create fault family search criteria. Fault families allow the user to determine specific fault codes to search for. For example, customers can search for all 94 codes for fuel gelling, or 111 codes for low coolant fault codes. Once these fault families are created, users can search for just the fault codes included within the fault families. The second search criteria allows users the ability to determine if they would like to view dealership health reports, which come from vehicles that are already at the dealership, or they can search for health reports created by the telematics devices as the vehicles drive down the road. They can also search for active fault codes and any active engine fault code. The third search criteria allows users to determine a date range. They can search in the last 24 hours or view historical data using the start date and end date functionality. Users can update the page every 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 30 minutes, and users are also able to determine how many VINs to view on their portal at any given time. The fourth search criteria allows users to search by OEM make or by the engine family associated with that particular VIN. The fifth search criteria allows users who manage multiple fleets to merge their fleets onto one screen. Rather than searching through multiple portals, this function allows one user to view multiple fleets on the same screen. The sixth search criteria allows users to search for an individual unit number or VIN number. Once I've determined my search criteria, I will click on the search button on the left-hand side of the screen. The screen will then refresh and display to the user all of the units that match their search criteria. Users will then be able to view the unit number, the vehicle model, the customer name, the scanner, the scan time, chassis number, location of the vehicle, faults along with fault severity, and repair advocate case files. Based on our search criteria, there are 3 vehicles that have either a service immediately fault code or a service soon fault code associated with those particular units. The first page that a user will use is a health report that can be accessed by clicking on the unit number on the left-hand side of the screen. Once that unit number is clicked on, a health report will appear. The health report will provide the user detailed information, including make, manufacturer of the vehicle, the model, model year, customer name, unit number, odometer, engine type and horsepower rating, build date, DTU date, warranty start date. It will also show the scanner, in this case PeopleNet, and I will be able to determine that there is one fault code and it is coming off of the engine. There are currently no inactive fault codes. Moving down the page, the user will be able to see recalls and AFCs for this particular VIN. Beneath the recalls and AFC section, the user will see the fault code section of the health report. Today, this unit has one fault code. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, there is an SAE description of the fault, in this case CSFS short to power FMI failure mode not identifiable. We have our fault number, along with the FMI. This particular fault is active. We have the vehicle location when the fault occurred, the odometer, a timestamp, the ignition status, RPM, if the cruise was on or off, or if the parking brake was on or off. We also have the source address for the fault. In this case, it is engine. The type, which is J1939, and a count of 1, which tells us that this particular fault has only occurred once. For this particular fault, I want to learn a little bit more about what CSF as a short to power FMI failure mode not identifiable really is. So I will click on the SPN 626, and what will appear is what we would call a fault code action plan. The fault code action plan provides a simple description of the fault. In this case, it is a cold start assist fault. We will also give you a formal fault description: cold start assist fault, lack of heat in the intake manifold. We recommend a service soon. This particular fault is coming off of the ECM. Possible symptoms are the check engine light is on, and question that we would ask the driver is please have the cold start igniter system inspected. Recommended action: take truck to the dealership for service soon. If I want to come down, I'll learn a little bit more about this fault code action plan. We have manuals, both from a service standpoint and a diagnostic manual. We have performance diagnostic forms, as well as hard start, no start forms. We have electrical wiring diagrams, and then helpful driver reference materials in the Max Force driver's room. For specific faults, we'll also have technical service bulletin, fault notes, or special instructions. To date, Navistar has created over 8,500 fault code action plans for international engines for 2007 and 2010, Cummins engines for 2010, Detroit 15 liters for 2010, Volvo 15 liter for 2010, generic fault codes for all engines, international body controller, and Freightliner body controller. Now that I understand the faults that are occurring on this vehicle, I would like to be able to see the vehicle location and search for nearby vendors. In order to access the mapping functionality of the website, the user will click on the vehicle location link in the center of the customer portal page. Within the mapping functionality of the software, the user will be able to view their vehicle location. In this case, this unit is in Cookeville, Tennessee. In addition to the vehicle location, the user will be able to, by default, see all international dealerships located within 100 miles of this particular unit. Users are also able to adjust the search range from a mileage perspective to 50, 100, or 150 miles. This will dictate which dealerships are viewable for the customer as they go through their search criteria. The OnCommand Connection mapping software also allows the user to search for nearby Freightliner, Hino, Kenworth, Mack, Peterbilt, Volvo, Western Star, Caterpillar, Cummins, and Detroit distributorships across North America. OnCommand Connection mapping functionality also allows the users to be able to search for nearby vendors, such as local hotels recommended by the international dealership, towing and recovery vendors sponsored by the local international dealerships, a variety of different truck stops, as well as the major tire vendors across North America. Users also have the ability to upload their own fleet shops, fleet terminals, or any other locations that they would like to be able to view in the map. They also have the ability to view nearby vehicles by checking the nearby vehicle button on the left-hand side of the screen. This allows the fleet to view nearby vehicles in the general vicinity of where the vehicle that is currently down is located. For example, number 4 to the west of this current unit is unit number 23018. If this vehicle is currently empty or bobtailing, the dispatch operator might be able to send this vehicle to repower this load of the down vehicle. Users are also able to search for nearby Idealis and Penske distributorships across North America. One of the most powerful tools within the OnCommand Connection mapping functionality is the city location search button on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. The city location search functionality allows users the ability to view vendors across North America. If I click on country, choose United States, I'm going to pick the state of Illinois, and I'm going to pick the city of Aurora, Illinois. Once I've completed my search criteria, I will click search. The map will refresh itself, and I will be viewing all of the local international dealerships within 100 miles of Aurora, Illinois. I am also able to select other dealerships, such as Freightliner. In this case, the nearest Freightliner distributorship to Aurora, Illinois is Trans-Chicago Truck Group out of Shorewood, Illinois. Or I could also search for nearby Cummins distributors if this particular truck had a Cummins engine in it from the factory. So I come down my list, the nearest Cummins distributorship is Cummins N-Power, which is in Hodgkins, Illinois, and is 23.64 miles away from Aurora, Illinois. This software allows the user to be able to search for vendors across North America. Users also have the ability to search for historical data using the service portal. By clicking on the VIN number, users will be automatically linked into the OnCommand service portal, where a variety of service information is stored on the vehicle. In this case, this particular unit is on the OnCommand Connection portal. By clicking on the Connection tab, the user will be able to view all health reports that have come in both from the telematics provider, in this case PeopleNet, or from the dealership via the PocketMax tool. This information on this page is also viewable by your local international dealership to help expedite repairs done at the local dealership. For Repair Advocate customers, users are able to create case files directly out of the OnCommand Connection portal by opening up a new case file via the Repair Advocate submission button on the far right hand side of the page. From the Repair Advocate case submission page, users are able to fill out the necessary information. In addition, fault codes are automatically pulled into the system for the user to be able to submit to the local dealership. Users are also able to create Repair Advocate case file submission forms by clicking on the mapping functionality on the main page. Once the mapping software appears, on the left-hand side, we will tell you the vehicle location as well as where the nearest international dealership is. In this case, it is Hawkeye Trucks in Dubuque, Iowa. It is currently 6.42 miles away from where the vehicle location is currently at. If the user would like to open up a case file and send this particular truck to this dealer, they will click on Create Repair Advocate Case File at the bottom of their profile. The user will then be able to view the Repair Advocate case submission form, fill in the necessary information, and be able to submit it to the local dealership directly off of the mapping software. Thank you for viewing the OnCommand Connection portal introduction. For more detailed information, please contact your local international distributorship or your local international customer service representative. Thank you, and we appreciate your business.